Hi, wrestling fans. This is Zach Truax. I'm at the 61st annual JC Gorman Tournament at Mansfield Senior High School. The Parade of Champions is going on right behind me. We're about to kick off what I expect is to be an amazing round of finals. Some storylines tonight. Can Medina Buckeye defend their championship without their big dog, Eddie the Nightmare Nightenbaugh? He's not here tonight. He got this weekend off. Ontario is surging. Can they catch Medina Buckeye? And there's some other great storylines. We've got state-ranked wrestlers wrestling state-ranked wrestlers at almost every weight. Sit back and enjoy the highlights. I'll be bringing you some great coaches interviews and some great championship interviews, along with an interview with the wrestler of the tournament and the winning coach. Thanks, folks. Stick with us. Good evening, wrestling fans. My name is Zach Truax, and we have got a great show planned for you. We'll recap the Gorman Invitational, and we'll talk to local coach, Galion Tigers coach, Brent Tyrrell, whose team is off to an impressive start. We'll look back at some impressive feats on the mat, and then look ahead to some upcoming matches. Welcome to the second episode of the show we call The Takedown. Tonight's show will be dedicated to recapping the 61st edition of the prestigious JC Gorman Invitational, as I give my take on the biggest matches, plus we'll hear from some champion wrestlers. First up, 106-pounder from Ashland, Mason Bauer. At the time this match took place, he was ranked number 9 in Division I. He's moved up to number 6. He earned a 5-1 sudden victory win over projected Division II state champ Aiden Ole from Ontario. Amazing match from the Ashland freshman. To me, he looked like he was setting up the shot the entire match. This could be the start of a great rivalry to watch between Ole and Bauer, as Ole is a sophomore and Bauer is just a freshman. I'm here with Mason Bauer of Ashland. He's the 106-pound champion this year. Mason, you're just a freshman, Sarver Invitational champ, MIT champ, Gorman champ. You went out there, took down an upperclassman that's also ranked in the state. As a freshman, where do you get the ability? Where do you get the know-how to go out and take down those upperclassmen and win these big-time tournaments?
So, I've been training with Guard, Max, a few other kids in a gym that we have, and we've always just been working on all those things, like preparing ourselves for the next level, the high school level. We weren't training just to win elementary matches like chin whips and that stuff. We're actually training the stuff that's going to matter when we're out here, wrestling the real high-level kids that are going to push the pace, and they're not going to give you any respect coming in as a freshman.
Now, in that first period, you guys wrestled pretty much in the middle of the match. Second period, you got a 20-second escape. Third period, he gets a quick escape. Then you guys go to overtime. What did you see going into overtime? Because you hit that little switch side single, right? Little kind of a sweep single. Did you see anything? Were you setting that up the whole time, or is that just something you saw and you reacted?
So I was seeing everything that was open the whole match, just seeing where the openings are, where I can capitalize and give me the best chance to get that big takedown when I need it. So I was just trying to get in his gas tank, sitting on those front headlocks, taking the energy out of him, the life out of him. And then I saw as I would club, he'd kind of reach over the top. So when he was tired, did that, and then I went right to that shot.
This is a great shot, great finish. Mason Bauer, your 106-pound champion for Ashland High School. Thanks a lot, Mason. Amazing match from the Ashland freshman. To me, he looked like he was setting that shot up the entire match. That could be a great rivalry to watch in the coming years, as Aiden Ole is a sophomore and Bauer is just a freshman. Moving on to 113 pounds, Blake Bartos, your champion from Medina Buckeye, who's currently ranked number 1 at 113 pounds in Division II. He earns a tough 4-2 decision over Jacob Ohl, who at that time was ranked number 3 at 120 pounds. If Jacob Ohl stays down at 113, this is probably a preview to the state semifinals or even the championship match. The score was close, but Bartos looked like he controlled the match the entire way. Now, Carter Trukovich is the unknown here. He's been out with an injury since knocking off Aiden Ohl at 113 pounds at the McCabe tournament. Let's catch up with your champ, Blake Bartos from Medina Buckeye. I'm with our 113-pound champion, Blake Bartos from Medina Buckeye. You won it here last year, Blake. You come back, you repeat as a champ. A little tougher task, though, this year. You're the number 1 ranked guy at 113 pounds in Division II. Yep. Ohl, your opponent, he's the number 2 or 3 ranked guy in Division II at 113 pounds. Yep. You guys have a close first period. You get takedown the first. Yep. You get then you go on top in the second. Yep. I think the biggest turning point in that match was that ride you put on in the second period. Tell me a little bit about your technique on top and how you ride guys that are so good.
Yeah, stay tough on top. I was trying to work in claws, kind of stay up tight, work in a tilt, but kind of worked off. He had a good Granby and caught me off position, and we got in a little scramble, and it worked from there. Coach overturned thing, got me my 2 back, and we worked from there.
That was nip and tuck there. Tough call by the official. They end up shaking the 2 off. It was just a second, but it was a great ride. You go down in the third period, you get the escape, and then you hold them off for the win. What's it like when you get that escape? You know you're up by a couple, and you know you've got a really good wrestler coming after you. What's the mindset at that point?
Yeah, we got a head and hands fight really hard. Block off, get in a shot, whatever. Got to block off, wrestle hard.
Blake Bartos and Ohl from Ontario treating the Gorman fans to what could be a preview to the Division II state championship match down in Columbus, Ohio. Blake, congratulations on a great tournament, and good luck the rest of the way. At 120 pounds, Colin Limbert, the number 1 ranked wrestler at 120 pounds in Division II, earned a razor-thin victory over Grady Harding of Galion. Harding is the number 2 ranked wrestler in Division II at that same weight. Again, this could be another preview of a state semifinal or a championship match, and it could have gone either way. Both wrestlers played everything very close to the vest. Harding lost to Limber at the MIT last week, but closed the gap this week, losing by the narrowest of margins, 1-0. Limber got his 1 point via escape in the second period. In the third period, Harding chose neutral. Now, talking with people after the match, a lot of coaches and wrestlers in this same situation automatically think, we're down 1-0, we have to choose down. But I like the decision by Harding. Either way, you need a takedown to win. Taking neutral saves you the time and energy of escaping from a really good top wrestler. And if there's something the Buckeye wrestlers do really well, it's control the top position. I would have liked to have seen Harding channel his inner Iowa-style wrestler here. Push forward, take territory, snaps, take safe shots on the edge. So if you don't get the takedown, you're out of bounds. Wait for that last second takedown. You soften them up a bit, and now you take that shot and you get the victory late over a top-ranked wrestler. In 126 pounds, Evan Kuzmats of Manchester won 3-0 over Wyatt Nemitz of Perkins. Both guys blew through their bracket until they got to the finals, and it was a close match. 132 pounds, Guardian Miller, another freshman from Ashland, another Division I ranked wrestler, as he's currently number 9. He earned a workmanlike 13-5 major decision over Marcus Fricke of Massillon, Washington. This was the only match that didn't feature a 1 or a 2 seed, as Fricke was the 4 seed and Miller looked unseeded. But Miller absolutely tore through his half of the bracket en route to his major decision, Gorman title. I'm here with Guardian Miller. Guardian's a freshman for Ashland, normally a 126-pounder. That didn't sound tough enough for you this week. You went up to 132 and you won the championship in what so far was the most dominant victory in all the finals. Guardian, you're a freshman, you're up a weight class. What gives you the ability to go out there and get after upperclassmen who are in a weight class up from you and dominate the way you did in the finals?
I think it's just all the experience I've had, especially in the room, and all my past experience I had in middle school, traveling and wrestling at all those big tournaments. I think gives me the edge over some people that haven't had that experience.
What really impressed me about your match, you go out there and you were attacking both sides of the leg, both sides of the body. You kept pressure on the whole time. Is that a normal part of your offense, or did you just see something in that match where you thought, I can get after this guy all match?
Well, that's attacking both sides of the body is something I try to practice on and try to work on in my offense, and it worked in that match.
You looked great out there, and you wrestled an entire 6 minutes. You were attacking the same in the third period as you were attacking in the first period. For the little wrestlers out there coming up, what gives you the ability to be able to get after people all 3 periods like that? What can they work on if they want to be like that?
I think your offense will be there. If you build a good offense, it'll be there. It just comes down to your conditioning. You just got to work on that conditioning and work on hard hand fighting and hard conditioning and wrestling.
That's Galion Miller. He's your 132-pound champion at JC Gorman. Are you staying up at 132, or are you going back down to 126?
Probably go back down.
He's ranked number 9 at 126 right now in Division I, correct? Galion Miller, 126-pounder for Ashland, your 132-pound champ at the 61st Annual JC Gorman Wrestling Tournament. Congratulations, Galion.
Thank you.
Moving on to 138 pounds. Mason Turnbull of Ontario picks up his second Gorman title. Turnbull, currently ranked 4th in Division II at 138 pounds, earned a very tough victory over number 9 ranked Cohen Becker of Northmore. Now, Cohen's ranked 9 in Division III, Turnbull ranked 4 in Division II, and this showdown between 2 top 10 wrestlers in their respective divisions did not disappoint. Both were active and looking for their attacks. Turnbull got taken down late in the third, got an escape right away, turned around, and got a takedown to secure his second Gorman title. Let's hear from Mason. I'm here with now 2-time JC Gorman champ, Mason Turnbull. Mason, is Cohen Becker from Northmore gave you a heck of a match right there. You jumped out to an early lead. He came back, tied it up late. There was a minute there. I thought you guys had a great scramble. Tell me about when he cast his hips over in the second period, and you two were just tied up. You eventually give up 1, not 2. Tell me what gives you the ability to wrestle through that kind of situation.
Well, a lot of it is in the wrestling room with all the guys that we roll around with. Everybody has different styles, so you get a lot of different scramble situations. So all of those different situations really help when you're in just a random situation like that on the mat.
Now, go to the third period. He gets a takedown. You come back in the center. You get a quick escape. What's your mindset when you get up? How fast do you want to get that takedown to secure victory? Are you going for it right away, or are you keeping one eye on the clock and trying to score right at the end? What's the mindset there?
Well, with there only being the 30 seconds left, I knew I had to go pretty quick, and then I could let him up and just wander around a little bit after that. So I wanted to get in pretty quick. It ended up getting right at the end there, which worked out in my favor. So I didn't have to let him up or anything. But, yeah, it was really close there at the end.
Yeah, beautiful single leg. He tied your ankles up. You were able to use good technique, get your ankles away, make the turn, get the takedown. That's a great wrestler. Mason, congratulations on their championship. Great tournament for you. Mason Turnbull, you're a 138-pound champion, the 61st Annual JC Gorman Tournament.
Thank you.
Now on to 144 pounds. Brock Durbin of Mapleton, currently ranked number 2 in Division III, takes a 3-1 sudden victory over Benjamin James of Sandusky SMCC. Now, James is a freshman, but he's ranked 6th in Division III at 144 pounds. Durbin was nothing less than dominant coming into this match. His first 4 matches were tech fall, pin, pin, pin. James beat the number 2 seed Beckett from Medina Buckeye in the semifinals in sudden victory. Now, even though James is ranked 9th, I fully expected him to be dominated by Durbin, who is a senior and looks the part. I was impressed with James' head-hands defense and his opportunistic offensive style. Durbin took territory and was the aggressor the entire match, but it never made James uncomfortable. He was very close on a takedown a couple of times, and in those scrambles, he put Durbin in trouble. But in the end, Durbin's style of aggression and pressure paid off. I think if they wrestle this match in Columbus later on, Durbin might get 1, if not 2 stalling calls in the match, and that might change the whole complexion. But I was really impressed with the freshman from Sandusky St. Mary's Central Catholic. But he came up just a little short to Brock Durbin, and let's hear more from our 144-pound champ, Brock Durbin. This is Zach Truax back here at the 61st annual JC Gorman Wrestling Tournament. I'm here with Brock Durbin, what's your weight again, Brock?
144.
144-pound champ from Mapleton. You're a senior. You're ranked number 2 in the state. Had a tough match here in the finals against a freshman. Pretty game freshman. Had a great head-to-hands defense, but you kept the pressure on the whole time. You stalked. What's your mindset there when you're wrestling a guy who's clearly wanting you to make a mistake?
Just keep the pressure on. At some point, there's going to be an opening for me to attack and get that takedown, and just keep the pace going and keep it my pace and let me dictate the match, not him.
Yeah, you stalked the whole match. You took territory. You get into the overtime. In overtime, were you setting up one specific move the whole time, or did you just see something and pounce?
I was just kind of seeing something and going. I was just going to take whatever was there, but I attempted that move a couple times before in that match, and it was there, but I just wasn't quite there, so then I had to capitalize and just get that final.
You dominated your whole way through the tournament. You ran to a pretty good little freshman there. I think he's going to do some good things in the state tournament. Going forward the rest of the season, what tournaments do you have coming up that are big that you're looking forward to?
I think just our biggest one coming soon, I think, is probably Northwestern or just our conference, because our conference is tough and we have some good competition there. I don't know if some kids might bump, some kids might not, but I don't know. Just going in and just finding the little mistakes that I'm having and just capitalizing and just trying to get better each day.
Brock Durbin's got his eyes on the prize this year down in Columbus, 144-pound. Looking for a state title to bring home another one to Mapleton. This is Zach Truax. Congratulations, Brock. Great tournament. Great interview by Brock. Hey, folks, I need a little injury time for myself. Maybe a little blood time. But when we come back, I'm going to feature 150 pounds all the way up to the big boys. Stick with us, folks. This is The Takedown on OH Report.
Santa Claus is coming to Crown.
You better watch out. It's the year-end big event at Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Dublin. During the wrap-up the year sales event, get a new Ram 1500 up to $15,000 off MSRP. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Crown's year-end big event is here for a limited time.
Santa Claus is coming to Crown.
Welcome back, wrestling fans, as we recap the 61st annual JC Gorman Tournament. Thank you to Crown of Dublin for sponsoring our show. Without their support, we could not bring this show to you. And we go to 150 pounds as we march on through all the way to the big boys. Daxton Chase, Marion Pleasant. He's currently ranked number 3 in Division 3. He gets a 1-minute pin over Quake Beatty of Indian Valley. The outcome might not have been a surprise, but the length of the match certainly was. Beatty had done an amazing job all day, using his ankle passes to tie up guys on their shots and then score off their shots. In his match against Brent of Medina Buckeye, Beatty showed Houdini-like skills in not only avoiding getting taken down, but creating his own opportunities off his ankle passes. Chase was having none of that. He got in on a leg, finished physically, and got his 1-minute pin. At 157 pounds, Caden King of Buckeye. He's number 4 ranked wrestler in Division 2. He gets a very solid 11-3 major decision over Carson Campbell of Northmore, who's number 16th ranked wrestler in Division 3. Both completely dominated their way to the championship. King had 4 pins and Campbell had 3 pins in a major decision. But King looked like the most college-ready wrestler in the entire tournament. He was dominant on top and looked in complete control of the entire match. At 165 pounds, Kayon McKinney of Perkins, the number 1 ranked wrestler in Division 2, earned a 12-7 decision over Dylan Badu of Medina Buckeye, who is ranked number 7 in Division 2. This could be a preview of a quarterfinals, or semifinals match. And McKinney is by far the most interesting wrestler in this tournament. He was a runner-up in Division I last year at 113 pounds for Illyria. This year he's wrestling for Perkins, and he's all the way up to 165 pounds.
Zach Truax back here at the 61st Annual JC Gorman Wrestling Tournament with OH Report. I'm joined by Galion McKinney. He's the #1 ranked wrestler at 165 pounds for Sandusky Perkins. Went out there, took on the #7 ranked wrestler from down at Buckeye. And as a #1 ranked wrestler, a lot of times guys get a little tight, get a little tense. Man, you look smooth out there. What is it about your mindset that lets you wrestle free and wrestle loose like that, even with that target on your back?
Just going out there and knowing that I can beat anybody the way I want to. And since I've been younger, I've just always had the mindset I just want to go out there and dominate every time. No pressure.
Very good. Now, I love the way you snapped and your little slide-bys there. It's so slick and so smooth, and you almost look like you're not even breaking a sweat. What is it about that? How do you drill to get so good at those?
It's repetition. You got to drill it enough times to perfect it. Haven't perfected it yet, but I'm definitely getting better at it.
Yeah, you're getting pretty close because it looked like you could hit it just about whenever you wanted to. And then your defense. Tell me about that little leg whizzer you hit, because he got in deep a couple times. You hit that little shin whizzer. Hit that little shin whizzer, and he just seemed so comfortable just to hang out right there and try and force him to make a mistake.
A lot of times when people shoot like single legs on me, I can usually get there and be pretty comfortable at it. I like to be square, but I'm pretty comfortable in that position too.
Runner-up at 113 pounds last year. Now you're all the way up to 165 pounds. What is it? Is it the weight room, or is it something else?
I guess it's just same wrestler that I was, just bigger weight now.
Just kind of grew into it.
Just grew into it.
Very good. Hey, this is your 165-pound champ, Galion McKinney, the #1 ranked wrestler in his weight class in Division II, 165 pounds for Sandusky Perkins. Galion, congratulations, bud. Great tournament.
Thank you.
Great to hear from 165-pound champion McKinney. That is a very unique story, and we look forward to seeing what he does down in Columbus. Now on 175 pounds, Blake Schlosser of Clear Fork, he pinned Will Fox of Willard in the second period. Schlosser had all first period pins until he got to the finals, where Fox managed to take him all the way to the second period. Congratulations to Schlosser on a dominating performance at 175 pounds. In 190 pounds, Hayden Bellini of Perkins, he pinned Justin Matheny of Rittman in 41 seconds. But the biggest story at 190 pounds of the JC Gorman, it was not the two medalists. It was Eddie, the Nightmare Nightenbach, not competing. He's a two-time champ, two-time outstanding wrestler, and it created a big hole at 190 pounds. We look forward to what he does later on down the season as well. 215 pounds, Landon Campbell, Ontario. He's currently ranked #4 in Division II. He earns a tough 7-4 victory over Cody Fair of Massillon, Washington, who's ranked #5 in Division I. A showdown of top 5 talent from Division I and Division II did not disappoint. Fair looks like he hasn't skipped leg day, ever. In fact, Fair looks like he's never skipped a day in the weight room. But Campbell did a great job of using his length and proper technique to negate Fair's physical strength and secure a solid 7-4 victory. Now, let's hear from our 215-pound champ from Ontario, Landon Campbell.
Zach Truax back here with OH Report at the 61st Annual JC Gorman Wrestling Tournament. I'm here with the 215-pound champ, Landon Campbell. Landon, you had your opponent in the finals was a highly ranked Division I opponent. Physically was a good-looking kid, strong wrestler, but you seemed to dominate the whole match. Take me through your mindset and your strategy in that match, how you pull out that win.
I believe it's in all confidence. I went out there believing that I could take him down and get off bottom, and as long as I wrestled my match, I figured I would have won, and that's what I did. I tried to, have good movement on bottom so I could get my reversals, escapes, and then in neutral, I knew he was going to shoot blast doubles, and, I just wrestled my match.
Yeah, you got to take down there late to seal the match and then kind of put it in cruise control there. Yeah. What's it like when you're wrestling a highly ranked kid like that? Does your mindset, does your approach change, or do you stay with the same mindset every match?
I try to stick with the same mindset. I treat everyone the same, but for him, I I try to wrestle my match, wrestle smart. I try not to wear myself out, and do things that I knew were going to help me win and, get me to become a champion in this.
Landon, great tournament. That's Landon Campbell, your number 4 ranked wrestler in Division II at 215 pounds, and your JC Gorman champion at 215 pounds. Congratulations, Landon.
Thank you.
Now on to the big eaters. 285 pounds, heavyweights. Caleb Cunningham of Crestview. He's ranked number 3 in Division III. He earns a 10-0 major decision victory over Alex Griffith of Galion. Cunningham completely dominated in this match. 10-0 in the 285-pound weight class basically speaks for itself. But then to do it against the number 2 guy in Division II is mind-blowing. In my interview, Cunningham refers to himself as a small heavyweight. I think he's about 6 foot 6 inches tall, and his hands are the size of paper plates. He might be lighter than most 285-pounders. He's certainly not smaller than most. But let's hear from our 285-pound champ, Caleb Cunningham.
Back Truex, I'm back at the 61st annual JC Gorman Wrestling Tournament. I'm here with Caleb Cunningham. Caleb, heavyweight for Crestview. Currently you're ranked number 2 in Division 3, 2 or 3, and your opponent was ranked 3rd in Division 2. Go out there. You had a great shot-reshot in the first period to get the first takedown. Take me through how you developed that shot-reshot off heavyweights.
I mean, obviously, I don't want to get under a heavyweight because I'm a little lighter, faster, which is what I use to my advantage. I mean, I want to get to the outside instead of underneath of them like I did. The first shot I took, I was straight underneath him, and then when I took the reshot, I was more outside, and then he just fell down.
And then in the second period, I think it was you put a really good ride on. We didn't get any turns, but you didn't let him out too easily either. You're coming up to heavyweight this year, right?
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference, the biggest step you've taken, you think, between your 215 last year and heavyweight this year?
I mean, just gaining weight, obviously, and then having to deal with bigger guys, a lot heavier, a lot more weight. But then I have the speed advantage, which helps so much.
How much do you think your height and your length helps you in that regard, too?
I know it helps a lot because everyone tells me they hate wrestling tall guys. Obviously, I don't like wrestling short guys, but most of the guys I wrestle are shorter than me, so I got to get used to it anyways.
Yeah, so he takes neutral in the third period. I'm standing next to another fan. They say, well, yeah, I think he's going to try and throw him. I said, you ever try and throw someone that's a foot taller than you? How's he going to take the underhooks there? So what was your thinking right there when he takes neutral in the third period? What were you thinking?
I was expecting something big, so, obviously I had to get away from the hooks because big throws like that, you never know. And then I had to take my shots. I can't just defend, get stall calls, and lose the match. Got to keep attacking.
Yeah, you had he took kind of a half shot. You did a great job of just chasing that foot around, getting that last takedown. And what's the feeling there when you get that final takedown and you're ready to steal the victory with a ride out over a highly ranked wrestler? What's that feel like?
It feels great. Like right when I got him down, I knew. He had to do something huge to get me. I'm pinned, really, is what he had to do. And I just didn't think that was going to happen. I felt good in the heart.
285-pound champ at the 61st annual JC Gorman Wrestling Tournament. Congratulations. Great tournament.
Thank you.
Great to hear from our 285-pound champ, Caleb Cunningham. But now we got to pay some bills. Stick with us. After the break, we'll talk to Galion coach Brent Tyrrell, get his update on how their season is going and some things he's looking forward to. And then everyone's favorite part of the show, we'll feature some wrestlers doing their thing. Stick with us. We'll be right back on OH Report.
Santa Claus is coming to Crown.
You better watch out. It's the year-end big event at Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Dublin. During the wrap-up the year sales event, get a new Ram 1500 up to $15,000 off MSRP. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Crown's year-end big event is here for a limited time.
Santa Claus is coming to Crown.
Welcome back, fans. I've got a great treat for you now. On the line is head coach from Galion, Brent Tyrrell. Coach Tyrrell, thanks for joining us today. So, Coach, right now you guys have 4 or 5 tournaments under your belts this year, and you're off to a solid start. What are some things you're most pleased with right now with your wrestlers, and what are some areas you think you want to work on and improve upon?
Well, right now, I'm pleased with the effort my kids are giving. We're very young. We have 29 wrestlers on our team, and we have 2 seniors, 1 junior, and 26 freshmen and sophomores. So we have some pretty high-level guys, but we have a lot to improve on. We have a lot of technique to improve on, a lot of positions to improve on. So, but overall, effort is great. They're scrappy kids, and it's been fun so far.
Your home tournament is the Cooper McCabe Invite. For folks who might not be familiar with that story, please give us the background on that tournament and what makes it so special for your school.
Cooper McCabe was a football player and a wrestler for me. He passed away August 30th of 2022. I got a phone call at 7 or 8 in the morning from our AD giving me some bad news. Really rough time, because I just coached him the day before. He was one of my nose guards on the football team, and he passed away over the night. And he was a league champion for us as a sophomore. His junior year, he got some shoulder surgery, so he didn't compete. And then he was ready for a big season his senior year, and just didn't get the opportunity. And we wanted to make sure we honor him. He was a big part of our program and his family, and keep his memory alive. And it's been a really good tournament and good competition, and it's been real special to us.
That's an amazing way to honor a young man that passed too soon. When I was at Loudonville, we had a similar situation with a young man named Garrick Tuttle. We named the tournament after him. I volunteered at that tournament since then, and I can completely understand why you guys want to do that, and I think it's a great way to honor him. Moving on, the best part of this job is meeting and talking to the wrestlers. I've been impressed with Grady Harding every time I've spoken to him and watched him wrestle. From the outside looking in, Grady, along with Alex Griffith, seem to be your unquestioned leaders. What do those guys bring to your room that helps your younger wrestlers?
Well, Alex is a senior, and he works really hard. He's a year-round wrestler for the most part. He played football, but he still would get in the room during football season. But he's a kid that is willing to go and compete, find the best competition possible, join clubs, go and practice in Columbus, go and practice up in Milan, find the best coaching, best competition throughout the year. And it's paid off over a long haul. He's come along as a leader, and it's been great to have him, and we're really going to miss him next year. Grady, on the other hand, he's a sophomore. He's a 1 in a million type kid that does everything the right way, does school the right way, does practice the right way, handles himself in public the right way, and he's just awesome. Kids love him. He can be hard on them, but he's great. He does the same thing. He's the only thing he does is wrestle. And this past year, we traveled all over the country in the fall, since I didn't coach football this year. So we traveled to Fort Wayne, Indiana for a tournament. We went to Michigan for a tournament. We went to Super 32, just seeking the best competition we can to get ready for and meet his goals to be a state champion this year. So it's been special to have both those guys, and they bring a lot to the table because they lead by example. They're not a kid that's going to call out and be negative to other kids. They're always positive. They're always rooting each other on, and it's been fun.
So Brady sounds like one of those wrestlers. His 3 favorite sports are folk style, freestyle, and Greco, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, he does it all, but yeah, he loves folk style better than anything else. But
my kind of guy. My kind of guy. Other than Harding and Griffith, who should we keep an eye out for on your team this season?
We have another senior, Aiden Reyes. He was a state alternate 2 years ago. Last year, he got a concussion in the semifinals at sectionals, ended the season early. Have high expectations for him. He's my only other senior. And we have a couple young guys that you're going to hear a lot about. Carter Trukovich is a freshman. He was a junior high state runner-up. And I'm telling you what, that junior high state tournament is probably the toughest tournament in the state of Ohio. It's all one division, and all the best wrestlers are there. So, he's a name you're going to hear about for a long time. Also, we have Ryder Alberti, who's a sophomore. The funny thing about Carter and Ryder, they spent 30 days out in Pennsylvania at the Young Guns camp.
Ooh.
And they had amazing experience, got a lot of exposure to colleges, a new college coach in there every day for 30 days, and got to wrestle college wrestlers and the best in the country. So that was pretty special. And it's shown that Ryder's made huge strides so far this year. He's placed everywhere, and is finally getting in the rankings. So him, and we got a lot of other freshmen, sophomores that are right on the verge of being really good wrestlers. They have some things to learn, and get a little more confidence, and they're going to be great. So I'm excited about our future.
So Harding and Griffith compete in the Walsh Ironman tournament. Not many guys are tough enough, good enough, accomplished enough to compete in that tournament. It is probably the toughest tournament in the nation right now, high school tournament in the nation right now. For those who might not be familiar with it and the competition there, you take a kid there, he runs up against some really tough competition, and he doesn't have the kind of success that he's used to having week in and week out. How do you keep them on track and not let them get discouraged and take the lessons from those tournaments?
So first of all, Ironman is by far the toughest in-season tournament you're ever going to get. There's more out-of-state kids than there are in-state kids. There was only 20 Ohio placers in the whole tournament, which is amazing to think about how good our state is in wrestling, and only 20 people out of everybody placed. They went in with the goal to win some matches. They didn't really have super high expectations because they know the competition level that they're going to go against, and they don't have any seeding criteria, so they knew they could draw a really tough match first round. So that's what happened to Grady. Grady went 1-2. He drew a number 3 seed in his weight class. Kid that just as a junior committed to Penn State, and he was ranked 3rd or 4th in the nation as well. So he knew what he was getting himself into. He came off the mat and goes, "I'm just as good as that guy on my feet. I just got to get better on top and bottom." So that was a positive thing to think about for him. And then Alex wrestled a fantastic tournament. He went 3-2, lost in the blood round. He was very close to placing. Lost to a nationally ranked guy in the quarters, and then lost to I don't know if I mentioned nationally ranked guy, high state placer from Indiana. It's the second match he lost, but beat some really good kids along the way. And it was a great experience. Both kids got positives from it. The way we teach is either you win or learn. And if you're not ever getting beat, you're not getting any chances to learn. So that's the way we approach it.
What a fantastic way to approach it too. When you take a kid to a tournament and he gets into a bracket that's probably better than the bracket he's going to be in Columbus, and get him that kind of experience before Columbus, man, it sets him up to be able to improve and get ready for that tournament on that day.
We also went to Super 32. We went to Fargo. We've seen that level of competition already. It wasn't anything new, but it's exciting to be part of that in season and not just out of season stuff. So, we'll have a couple more guys hopefully there next year, and we'll continue to go there till we get a placer. We're going to try to get a placer there here in the next couple of years.
Good for you. The MOAC tournament looks to be as tough as ever. What weight class do you think will be the toughest to win, and what do you think is the team favorite at this point?
It's hard to tell, man. The last 3 or 4 years, it's been like 40 points separates the top 4 teams, top 5 teams. It's been crazy hard. It's been very evenly spread out with weight classes and competitions. So I love the tournament. It's a great way to go into the postseason with a really tough tournament. And I mean, right now, Clear Fork was a winner last year, so I mean, I don't know if I give them the nod over Ontario or over Highland, over Pleasant, over Galion. I mean, it's going to be whoever's healthy, whoever's got their lineup, everybody in the right spots, and it's gonna take a whole team effort. So we'll see what happens then. There's going to be some really tough weight classes. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint one or two of them. Maybe 44, maybe 13, maybe 20. I mean, it's hard to tell.
Well, those tournaments when they're so close like that, sometimes people don't realize you win those tournaments with your consolation rounds.
Yep.
Right? Like you get those guys on the wrestlebacks and they go on a run where they win 3-4 in a row and they place third for you and they can knock off some other guys. So you're right, it's going to take a total team effort, and when you can't win first, this is the tournament where you get the next best thing to help your team, and that's good. I'm looking forward to the MOAC tournament as much as any tournament I've looked forward to all year, because I think the competition is going to be so close, and I absolutely love the rivalries that are built up. I think it's what gets everyone's blood pumping in the morning. So
absolutely.
Looking forward to that tournament. Coach Tyrrell, really appreciate you joining us today. I know you're busy, guys, so we're going to let you go. Look forward to seeing your wrestlers continue to compete in the MOAC, other tournaments, and hopefully down in Columbus. Good luck to you, Coach. Have a great day.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Santa Claus is coming to crown.
You better watch out. It's the year-end big event at Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Dublin. During the wrap-up the year sales event, get a new Ram 1500 up to $15,000 off MSRP. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Crown's year-end big event is here for a limited time.
Santa Claus is coming to crown.
Welcome back to OH Report, wrestling fans, and this is The Takedown with yours truly, Zach Truax. Thanks to Crown of Dublin for sponsoring this show, but now let's get on to what everyone's been looking forward to. We're going to feature wrestlers doing their thing on the mat. Our first segment, Counting Lights, features the best pins from the submissions that we got in. Our first submission, Max Ole from Ashland. Max hits a stand-up, pulls the leg through, hits a weird cradle, but Max has got him! Counting Lights! Max gets the pin. Our second submission from Clear Fork, Tristan Cromer. Tristan gets a nice takedown here, little slide by, puts a ride on, slaps on the half. Tristan gets the turn. Tristan from Clear Fork, he's got him! Counting Lights! In our third submission, from Crestview, the girls are getting into the action. Naomi Gerhardt. Naomi puts her version of the half on, gets the turn. Naomi's got him. Counting Lights. Now on to our fourth submission. This is Jackson Stancombe from Newark Central Catholic. He hits the big head and arm. Folks, that was seismic activity when they hit the mat. Jackson's got him. Counting Lights. And our fifth and final submission, Blake Schlosser from Clear Fork. Blake got all first period pins in the JC Gorman. In the finals, he puts on the cradle. He gets the turn. Blake's looking for his first Gorman championship. Blake's got him. Counting Lights. Folks, now you go and you vote for your favorite. And now it's time to take him high and let him fly. In a segment we call Rather Throw You Than Know Ya. Let's look at the best entries for this week. Our first entry, is Raiden Caudell of Lucas. Raiden Caudell hits the perfect lat drop for a throw on the line. Raiden would rather throw you than know you right there. Our second entry, again, Jackson Stancombe is back. Boom! The big head and arm with the seismic activity, looking for the fall. Jackson, he'd rather throw you than know you with that beautiful head and arm. Feet to back, looking for a fall. And our third entry, Raiden's back. Raiden Caudell from Lucas. Opponent stands up. Boom! Big mat return. Rather throw you than know you. Raiden gets him flat. Now you vote on what you think the best throw this week was, and rather throw you than know you. And now, a segment so good, we named it after the show. Truax's Takedowns of the Week. Our first submission is Mason Bauer of Ashland. In the finals, the Gorman shoots a single, switches to a double, for good measure, gets a turn to collect 2 more points, and secure his Gorman title at 106 pounds. Also from Ashland, Guardian Miller, beautiful little high C, finishes it just like they show you at wrestling camp. His opponent gets to his feet, but Guardian's able to bring him back down to the mat and secure the takedown en route to his major decision victory for his Gorman title. And now Mason Turnbull falling in the skate, catching the opponent reaching, little slide by there, to his feet, scoots his butt, keeps his head high. He's looking to make that big turn right here to secure the victory, and does. Beautifully done by Mason. In our next submission, Brock Durbin stops the bad shot, gets around behind. Now he's got to score the takedown, drops to a leg, finishes back door, gets his takedown. And the big boys, Caleb Cunningham, shot. Oh, he's stuck underneath. Nope, gets back to his feet, reshot, casts his hips over. Caleb Cunningham earning a huge victory over Alex Griffith in the heavyweight finals. But my selection for the takedown of the week has to be Mason Turnbull of Ontario. Really like the way he catches his opponent reaching here a little bit, and he does that little, I call it a short Russian or a Purdue kind of elbow pass. He gets past the elbow. They're so often. Here he gets his ankles tied up. He doesn't panic. Okay. Now the high head wins right here. Turnbull gets his head high and makes a turn, collects his 2 points. Congratulations, Mason Turnbull, on not only your second Gorman Championship, but that takedown was selected as the show's Takedown of the Week. Well, folks, that just about wraps it up on our second episode of the Takedown. I want to take another minute and thank Crown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram of Dublin. Their owner was nice enough to come up and introduce himself to JC Gorman. We had a great conversation about wrestling. Some things to look forward to coming up. OHS WCA State Dual Meet starts soon. Some various local schools have qualified. I've had a chance to speak with the Ontario coach, Northmore coach, and the Medina Buckeye coach. They've all three confirmed with me that they're in the State Dual Tournament, and I think all three of those schools have opportunities to make waves in their respective divisions. January 17th, in a battle of old-time, old-fashioned conference rivals, Clear Fork travels all over to always tough West Homes for our dual meet. And then on January 25th, Mount Vernon and Ashland, two of the OCC powers get together at Mount Vernon for their duel. All right, folks, that wraps it up for us here at the Takedown. Thanks for joining us on our second episode. And if you think you have a better submission for Rather Throw You Than Know Ya, Counting Lights, or even the Takedown of the Week, please send those clips in and we'll see if we can get it played. We can't have too many clips, and we always love reviewing the film. Otherwise, hey, have a great time out there, and I'll see you next time on OH Report, The Takedown.